welcome to a brand new episode of the podcast entitled Couch Potatoes Unite! Which is based on a blog of the same name because it's better than being called The Empty, right? It's probably also better than being exiled there. Also, it's kind of like we're our own network of TV hunters ready to process any number of television programs that haunt our dreams. Okay, I'm done now. My name is Kylie and I love TV. If you feel the same, keep listening at or checking out our website, couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, as you're bound to find some common ground or something you like. For at Couch Potatoes Unite, we're all about the wonders and the unique long-form storytelling of the small screen. CPU wishes you a happy new year and a happy 2019 and hopes you've been following releases of brand new episodes of the podcast on Wednesdays, as well as new blog entries on some Tuesdays, and as always, we have several more new episodes on the way. Because the panelists and I live lives behind our podcast, the episodes are published once per week. Subscribe to the blog or the podcast via iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and via Google Play to stay on top of brand new episodes. Episodes already published discuss a variety of shows around the water cooler, including but not limited to The Good Place, Game of Thrones, Broadchurch, Stranger Things, iZombie, The X-Files, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Gotham, Schitt's Creek, New Girl, The Originals, and Will and Grace. Plus, new episodes are in the works, including revisits for Once Upon a Time, 13 Reasons Why, Orange is the New Black, Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, Grace and Frankie, Fuller House, American Horror Story, A Series of Unfortunate Events, The Crown. The DCTU series panel will return for its mid-season roundup of the 4 Arrowverse shows and the multi-show crossover. And the Marvel's Defenders panel will talk Season 3 of Daredevil. We'll be launching new panels covering Westworld, Arrested Development, Jane the Virgin, The Americans, Riverdale, and the chilling adventures of Sabrina. And because we look back at shows now past, we'll be looking back at one of our most popularly requested panels of all time. And I swear to you, listener, it is coming. It is Friends. We're shooting for very soon. I promise it's coming. And you'll have to see it to believe it, or hear it to believe it. And then you'll all plot, and you'll be like, thank God she's not telling this joke anymore. Believe me, I'm with you. By the way, did you know that CPU also from time to time goes live? We've been live from bunkers and comedy shows, and we just went live for the 3rd time from Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Plus, we plan more live appearances and other cool stuff all the time, so make sure you like or follow us at our Facebook page, our Twitter at CPU Podcast, our Instagram at Couch Potatoes Unite, or subscribe to the blog, our YouTube channel, our iTunes channel, our Stitcher Radio channel, or find us on Google Play. In the meantime, if you don't hear your show in this podcast format, fellow panelists and I still write reviews, and we always seek new panelists, so if you have any interest in joining the discussion, say hello by finding us at any of those outlets I've mentioned. At the very least, stop by and leave us a thumbs up, comment, or review. We like feedback. Just don't snail mail it like Ketch did, the golden egg hyperbolic pulse generator. I mean, really, who does that? Okay? Today, we're around the water cooler and discussing the first half of Season 14 of Supernatural. The 14th season premiered on October 11th, 2018. To remind the listener, Supernatural is an American dark fantasy television series created by Eric Kripke. It was first broadcast on September 13, 2005 on the WB, and subsequently became part of successor The CW's lineup. Starring Jerry Padalecki as Sam Winchester and Jensen Ackles as Dean Winchester, the series follows the two brothers as they hunt demons, ghosts, monsters, and other supernatural beings. The series is produced by Warner Brothers Television in association with Wonderland Sound and Vision. Our Supernatural panel that appeared in the last Supernatural-related episode remains constant, as frequent panelists Nick, Jen S., Kelsey, Jeremy, and Jen K. return to the water cooler. Our ragtag group of demon hunters are ready to discuss the current goings-on of this epic long-running series about the two monster-hunting Winchester brothers and their friends, ready as we always are to hit the road in our trusty 67 Chevy Impala named Baby. And to get started, it should as always be noted that all of our panelists have viewed the entire series through the 14th mid-season finale of Supernatural to date and may discuss sensitive plot points. So, if you haven't watched any of Supernatural, particularly through the first 9 episodes of this 14th season, and plan to catch up at some point, listen at your own risk, as there may be major spoilers. Welcome back, panel. How are you?
Good.
Hello.
Good.
Woo! Are we ready to talk about Season 14 thus far?
Yes.
I think so.
Yes.
Okay.
Nah.
Jen!
Jen K.
Jen K. That was shocking. Well, I'm going to take your temperature. Hopefully you'll be able to elucidate on that.
I was joking.
Okay, good. Yay! Well, we're all here to talk about Season 14. I am going to take their temperature, and here's the fantastic news about this. I've actually tweaked most every character description in the spectrum except Castiel. So, how would you rate your interest in Supernatural as of the end of the mid-season finale? Do you watch it because hunting is your life and or because you love the show Hunting and or the show about hunting? For you, it's keep grinding until the end or until you die. Also, you're really into Baby, that is the Impala, Most Fried Meats, the awesome use of classic rock and pie, or you watch it because you feel as though you have no other choice. It's as if you are possessed and you need to know how it all ends, like Dean Winchester, sometimes Apocalypse World Archangel Michael. Do you watch it because you were reluctantly convinced to watch the show about the lives of two brothers demon hunting, but now you can't imagine your life without the show or demon hunting? Or you watch it because you feel as though you have no other choice. You need to know if the brothers Winchester will survive or die together as they always hoped, like Sam Winchester. Do you watch it because your best friend watches it and or because your best friend is deeply committed to hunting? And even though you shouldn't really be involved with his or her actions or decisions, you trust your best friend's judgment and moral center? Also, even when you think you want to stop watching it or are forced to stop watching it for some external influence or reasons, something always manages to pull you back, no matter how improbable. You're basically along for the supernatural ride, though you secretly enjoy it, like Castiel. You don't know what to make of it anymore. You're trying to adjust to a new normal and or only started watching it late in the show's life. All you know is that you need to watch it, it's comfortable to you, the Winchesters and Cass are like family to you, and you love them because of it, like Jack. Or you don't want to watch it or don't watch it anymore. The show's evolution has caused you pain and you find it a chore to keep going. For whatever reason, you are exceptionally and only drawn to the Lucifer character, particularly as played by Mark Pellegrino. You know, however, that you can't keep a stubborn archangel down and you really want to know if Lucifer is gone for good or if the power of prayer will set him free in that truly ironic way, like Nick, the artist formerly known as Lucifer. Who would like to start?
I don't know.
Are you starting, or you just don't know?
I mean, I can start if you don't want to.
You should start then.
This is Jeremy.
Hi, Jeremy.
Returning again.
You are.
Definitely a cross between Castiel and Lucifer.
Last time you were Jack. So you just said Castiel and Lucifer. Jack is the middle of that.
Well, Castiel because Kylie keeps drawing me back into the show, even though I did not want to watch it this time. So my best friend did draw me back.
You love it.
Reluctantly, like Lucifer.
Oh. The Lucifer description is you reluctantly love Lucifer.
Well, that too. I mean, who doesn't love Lucifer?
Some people.
Yeah.
I just want to see how it ends.
That's going to get taken out of context.
That's it.
Did I give you too much snark already?
No, it's fine. I'll give you more later.
I know, that's why I'm not worried. Welcome back, Jeremy.
That didn't help me decide.
Alright, I'll go now.
Okay.
This is Jen S.
Hi, Jen S.
Hello. I think I'm definitely a mix of Dean and Sam.
Okay. Last time you wanted to be Dean, but found yourself more in a Jack place.
Yeah.
But you're back up.
I'm back up.
All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Welcome back, Jen S.
Thank you.
This is Jen K.
Hi, Jen
The
K.
other Jen.
The other Jen.
Jen N.
Yes. I think this time around, kind of like what Jeremy said, I think I'm a mix between Castiel and Lucifer.
Okay. Last time you were
Yeah.
between Castiel and Jack.
I mean, it's still kind of the same reason why I'm still watching the show, but I think in this case, I'm interested to see more how, like, Lucifer gets played out. Like, he's, like, in the MD, but I think he's going to be coming back, so I just want to see, like, if there's a way, like, if he does end up coming back, like, if there's a way that they could actually, like, kill him off for good.
Welcome back, Jen K.
And Duke.
And Duke. Well, he last appeared on the A Series of Unfortunate Events podcast episode.
I appreciate that you kept his meows in, too.
Well, sometimes you can't help it.
Yep.
But yes, we love Duke.
I can go. I'm Nick.
Hi, Nick.
I'm part Sam, I guess. I don't feel like I have no other choice, but I like it enough that I want to keep watching it and see how it ends.
Last time you were Jack.
Yeah, Jack's description is different, isn't it?
It's tweaked, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Are you more in the appreciation camp than you were last time, but not quite appreciating it as much?
I think I am enjoying this season more than last one, maybe, but all the other the past blend in together. I don't know. Wait, where's the one where I don't know what to think anymore?
Jack.
Oh. I think I just needed to talk it out.
So where did you land precisely?
I guess I'm Jack.
Well, that was a journey. Welcome back, Nick.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Kelsey.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Dean, guys. Like,
Oh,
I really like this season a lot.
Awesome.
I don't know how I felt about the cliffhanger, but I really liked this season. I don't like fried foods as much, but I do like classic rock and all the other things.
Hell yeah. Last time you were Jack with a little Castiel, so you rocketed back up to the top.
I did, yeah. This season kind of brought me back around, I think.
Me too.
Awesome. Well, welcome back, Kelsey. And of course,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I'm Kylie. I moderate. I participate. Last time I was Dean. This time, I'm still Dean. Because of course I am.
Have you been anybody different than Dean?
No.
I didn't think so. I just wanted to make that perfectly clear.
So just to be perfectly reasonable and honest, wherever Supernatural ends, it's probably still going to be one of my most favorite shows of all time. I love it because even when it's not so good, it's still better than a lot of other shows.
It's like pizza.
It's like pizza. And I like Dean and Sam so much, especially Dean. But I like Dean and Sam so much, and Cass and Lucifer too. And I really come around with Jack. So even when the storyline is weird, I still love the characters. Be that as it may, I am super riveted by this season, and I can't wait to talk about it. And I was very much looking forward to it. If you listen to our last episode, there were some people who were like, I don't know, what are they doing? What are they trying to be here? And then there was me who was like, I'm so excited. And I'm still there. So, what do you think of season 14 so far? Talk about it.
He's just dying, Jeremy.
You're probably going to be the black sheep. If you want to get it out of the way, that's
fine. I'm going to be the black sheep, and I'm going to be the one who's a punching bag for the rest of this episode, I think.
You might not be.
No.
There were some things.
While I will say, I was very reluctant going into this season. It did turn me around a little bit after the second or third episode, but I still just feel like I'm waiting for the end. While I love all the characters, all the episodes, I just am waiting for it. Like, I'm over it. It's good.
Yeah. I feel like I was like that last season, and I don't feel that way anymore. Now I kind of don't want it to, and I feel like it's going too soon, and I don't want it to.
But yeah, there's not much else where they can go. It's got to end eventually. I mean, I feel like it's coming to an end. There's not much. Yeah, there's not much else they can do, I think. Besides bring Lucifer back. Yeah. Then what? That's just another cycle. Then we're back to.
Yeah, I really don't want them to.
We are.
Oh, we are. Oh, we are. And I'm actually kind of excited about that. But aren't we just back to square one?
No, we're not back to square one.
Maybe it's going to be a whole different Lucifer, right?
Well, the reason why we're not back to square one is because Michael is in Dean.
Well, that's true.
And I really have to give Jensen Ackles, if you are listening, first of all, call me because I love you. But secondly, he's doing such a fantastic job as the possessed Michael.
Yeah.
And whenever he is Michael, I get chills up my spine because it's like, A, he's clearly enjoying doing this, but B, he just... Again, this is something I wanted to see, way back when, and now we're seeing it, and it's everything I wanted. And what I think is happening is, I think there's a little, I'm going to use actually Jensen's phrase from an interview, there's a little gas left in the tank, but I think he's going to be Michael a lot for whatever the rest of the show is, and however long it lasts. I think he's going to be Michael a lot, and everything is going to be about how can we beat Michael. Even though we're jumping to the end a little bit, he destroyed all of the things in that mid-season finale that were supposed to be able to stop him in the moment.
Well, it's kind of nice seeing him playing a different role as just not Dean for the last 13 years.
Yeah.
Whereas Sam had all these different options to explore his character and different ways he's going to interact with everyone. Dean really hasn't. He's always just been Dean, baby, pie, pizza, burgers, beer. That's Dean.
Classic rock.
Yeah.
I think he played a shapeshifter one time, but that was really early. But even with it, that wasn't as I don't want to say two-dimensional, because obviously it's, like, still a character, but compared to, like, all the different roles that, like, Jared played, it's definitely very different.
Well, and you're right. Dean he's also been, he was the evil, he played the demon version of him. And he also had the Mark of Cain for a while. But even those shades of Dean were not as dramatic as, say, when Sam was possessed by Lucifer, or when Sam was possessed by, didn't have a soul, or when he was possessed by that other angel in season 8 that was working with Metatron. He has had a little bit more shade, but I don't know. I'm excited. Continue. I don't want to just be Kylie's excited and in love with Dean the whole time. It's just going to come out.
It's the fangirl episode.
It's hashtag Kylie's fangirling. Kylie's also really excited to talk about the potential of the 300th episode, but we'll get there.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay, so what else did you like or not like?
I always like when Rowena comes back.
I know! She's the best.
I love Rowena.
This is what we call hashtag Rowena appreciation moment.
Well, and I like her working with them, but I don't know, it's a little different.
Being that pebble in your shoe kind of thing. Yeah.
She was nice this season.
Yeah.
She wasn't pebbly.
Yeah.
She was helping him out. She didn't even try anything. She was trying to help Jack.
No.
She
like legit helped them.
Yeah.
But
she didn't want to help Lucifer.
Does she have ulterior motives?
Well, I don't blame her.
I don't think she did.
No, I think she tried to help Jack, but Jack was too far gone.
She's just one of my least favorite. I just don't.
I'm
like
with
her
you, Jen.
very well.
I love her.
I'm usually where you are, Jen, but I didn't mind her one-off episode, and she was trying to help them. And I thought her playing the calmer, nicer version of herself was also a refreshing change.
I have a lot to say.
Then say it!
Okay. I really, 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 really love Jack and Alexander Calvert as Jack. And I think he's my new favorite character.
Whoa.
I still love Castiel.
Whoa.
I really love Castiel and Jack together, and their relationship is my new favorite thing.
Are you dethroning Cass for Jack?
A little, because you know what I loved about Cass was his like awkwardness and his weirdness, not knowing how to be a human, and now he's kind of learned a lot of that, and so I like that Jack is a little bit of that, but also something different. And I also just think that Misha has adorable fatherly tendencies, and I really like them together. That's my new favorite thing. So yes.
Castiel was also the moral compass a couple seasons ago, and then he kind of went off the rails. And I kind of see that with Jack as well, and I kind of wonder if that's going to go in that direction.
Off the rails?
Off the rail, his moral compass, like, because Jack is now like the new moral compass, like he's the innocent. And I kind of wonder if it's going to go the same way, or if they're going to go the opposite direction.
What do you think?
I hope not.
I hope that Jack won't go all crazy Leviathan-esque.
Oh.
I hope he's going to go in the opposite direction, go towards more, like, heavenly, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
Making the right decision kind of thing.
Heaven's a mess. Or empty.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
empty.
I
We
think
don't
it's
know.
mostly empty.
I think it's mostly empty, yeah.
Because I think so there's quite a few things, and I'll sprinkle in some plot summary. What we're talking about right now, though, is we've mentioned Lucifer being dead, and people think he's going to come back. That's because he's in the empty. Well, the reason why we think he's going to come back is because his vessel, Nick, still played by Mark Pellegrino, is wandering around because he's kind of shell-shocked, not being possessed by Lucifer, and to deal with that shell-shockedness, he's trying to figure out who killed his wife and son before he agreed to be possessed by Lucifer, but it's turned into a killing spree. And at
I wouldn't say he's wandering around so much.
Yeah, he's not wandering.
A serial killer.
I was being dry.
Wandering into people's houses with a hammer.
I can't see you right now because I opened my notes. So I think that that's a really cool concept. I actually was just reading my notes because I actually took like individual notes for each episode this time when I was watching it. I know. I tried to be actually prepared this time.
Aww.
But like I really did. The whole first episode, I was like, what are they doing? Why are they doing? Like, it did take me a minute to get in there. Like, I forgot where I was going. Well, first of all, I knew that Jeffrey D. Morgan was coming back at some point, and so when they introduced Nick, I was like, are they bringing him back right now? That's a weird way. What the heck is going on? Yeah, anyway, I really liked Nick, although I was kind of concerned that he was just a plot device for later so that we know that Michael can be killed with the Archangel Blade, but Jean can still survive, because that seemed just weird, that all of a sudden they were like, oh, by the way, his vessel's still okay.
Yeah, because they've never done
Because
that
it
before.
doesn't really go with the lore of, like, the Demon Blade or the Angel Blade. Like, why is there all of a sudden some weird loophole?
Well, in every other vessel, once they're completely taken over, their soul dies. Like, Castiel's vessel died.
You're right.
Soul.
Well, eventually. I think immediately, though.
Well, and they haven't really explored, when they introduced the Archangel Blade in season 13, they did not really give us any, like, information about where it came from. It was almost introduced Deus Ex Machina, kind of. I mean, early enough where it didn't feel like it was an act of God, but ironically speaking, but but in such a way that it was like, well, where did this come from, and why didn't anybody know of it until now, kind of a thing. So I'm hoping that the explanation around the blade and its effect on Nick and sort of Lucifer's lingering essence, if you will, because I think that's what we're supposed to be taking from the Nick character right now, is that they...
Yeah, or just, like, is it, like, a weird, like, almost PTSD thing? Like, he just rub off on him, but it's not so much like I don't know if it's so much of a lingering essence as just, like, this is what happens when you have, like, Lucifer inhabit your body for millions of, I don't know, not millions of years. I'm being...
Well, essence is maybe the wrong word. I'm thinking more now, like, imprint, the idea that because he's a vessel that is meant for Lucifer, and remember, this vessel was warded so that Lucifer could occupy it, because Lucifer's perfect vessel is Sam. So maybe there's some sort of weird, sort of magical explanation, because when Pellegrino came back the last time and was battling, well, he came out of hell with the darkness that season 11. He explained that his vessel was warded, and maybe that has something to do to explain this. But at the same time, where I was going with all this is, we see Nick, after he's killed a bunch of people that were involved in the case, and including the cop who was the actual murderer of his wife and child, who was possessed by the demon Abraxas at the time. He kills him, and then he's so forlorn about his new lot in life of killing so many people that he actually prays to Lucifer. And then we see this nondescript form with red eyes appear in the empty. That's why everybody's talking Lucifer's coming.
Can we talk about the empty for a second?
Yes.
Because first of all, I knew Duma was the empty because she was crazy. And second of all, why does the empty care so much all of a sudden? Because remember how lazy it was and how it just wanted to get rid of
Because he woke up and someone took his toys.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Because why?
He woke up and someone took his toys. Like, you wake up from a 5,000 year long nap and somebody took your binky, you're going to be pissed.
Good way of putting it.
I guess. But
Kelsey doesn't buy this.
No, not really. Because, like, it's not like he had... I know that they were arguing about where Jack belongs, but it's not like he had previously had Jack and then woke up and Jack was gone.
Has anyone taken your leftover food before when you woke up? That's how I felt. Like, you wake up from a nap and somebody ate your Thai food? I'd be pissed.
But the thing was, all he wanted to do was to continue to sleep. So, like...
Yeah, eat your leftovers and go back to bed.
Maybe he can't fall back asleep.
He realized that somebody else is trying to take the archangels, and he must have all of those archangel souls or angel souls.
Well, particularly Jack. Because then the other piece of the story that we're dancing around without tying in is that Rowena came back to help, because after Lucifer took Jack's grace, his grace is what was kind of holding his human half and his archangel half together, and without his grace, he's basically just expiring. And so Rowena's trying to find a magical solution for him, and Cass is trying to find a magical solution for him, and it eventually doesn't work. And then he does end up in heaven, but the heaven is only for human souls. It's not for angel souls and demon souls. They go to the empty. So then the empty comes out of the empty, which is an interesting choice, and goes through heaven. There are almost no angels to ward him off, because we're down to like less than 10.
The skeleton crew.
Yeah, the skeleton. If you count Michael, there's still less than 10. So,
Dang.
there's nobody watching heaven. And Naomi actually says to Cass, when the Empty's doing this, all of the doors of heaven are wide open. I don't know what that means, but that was a quote she used. So there, we've tied that all together. Now keep reacting.
Now, going back a second, I have a theory about the Archangel Blade. I think that they're going to tie it into maybe being forged out of like the Spear of Longinus, Spear of Destiny.
Isn't the Spear of Destiny the thing, though, that they once had, that one of the princes of hell had? Remember, they had a spear?
They did, but I'm thinking this is going to be some way to tie in the fact that Lucifer's spirit still lives in the Empty somewhat.
You mean that he's awake?
Because everything else kills the vessel and the angel. This is the only thing I can think of that would give him a loophole.
How does that relate to the Archangel Blade?
I think it's going to be been forged out of that.
Oh, okay, got it.
So what gives it its power?
I don't know. God? Chuck? Where's God or Chuck?
I feel like they are leading
Apparently
to
Surfboard
that.
I think
and
we're
that.
getting to that,
With
yeah.
the angels being that low, I think God would have to come back.
He's got to make more angels.
I think he'll make an appearance only because it's
But
cameo
Michael's
episode.
making more angels. Trying.
Michael's
He is.
trying.
It's failing.
I was gonna say, I thought he was
Angels.
making like super monsters.
That's really what he's doing.
Instead of
he's making
angels.
super
Yeah,
monsters. He's using bits of angelic grace to supercharge vampires and werewolves and shapeshifters and others probably, but that's what we've seen so far. Including
how
Werewolf
much grace
Card.
does Michael have? Like, is he gonna run out of grace and start dying like Jack did? I
All
guess
the
not. 'cause he
grace
doesn't have any heart.
regenerates.
Yeah,
Right?
but it
So
takes
as long
hundreds
as
of years.
Yeah, but how
a lot of
fast?
times, like
Because
they said with
Jack's
Jack.
Archangels?
not
This with
regenerated
Jack,
any
it'll
of
take
his.
hundreds of years.
he's a Nephilim, so he was part
Why
of
does
I
it
think
Michael go around
they're
creating
playing it. They're
Nephilims?
playing it fast and loose with the grace anyway for the last.
If he wants
10
an
seasons.
army, why doesn't he just
Yeah.
go around sleeping with women and making Nephilims himself, right? He's an archangel and a human.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just go
Yeah.
impregnate a bunch of...
Michael
And
doesn't
make his
like
army that
humans.
way.
Michael's trying to destroy
So he
humans.
needs to get over that.
Yeah.
Just
I don't think
saying.
he can. I think Michael is racist against humans.
Yeah. Well, I'd say I think
He
he
is.
would want pure
you
angels.
would be
but
too
he's
if your
mixing-
soul died and went to the empty, and all the
Oh,
humans went
yes.
to go to the empty heaven. Well, empty heaven.
Empty.
But this is apocalypse world, Michael, remember? This is
Yeah,
Michael
that's
from our
true.
world. Michael
That is
from our
true.
world is still an Adam, who is in the half-brother, who's in the Hell's Cage. And
Yeah.
has been since season 5.
Do we think he's gonna make a reappearance?
I was going
I
to say,
hope so.
will he ever...
I hope so.
thought they
What
had
if?
teased
Yeah.
it on-
What if he like frees him and then they both are taking over the world?
I'm pretty sure. Well,
I
yeah,
don't think they'll like each other.
I don't think they'll like each other either.
we learned that. In
Meaning they've been stuck together for like what, 9 years, give or take?
Yeah, 9.
How long?
Well, 8. It would be
They did.
the end of season
I was gonna-
5.
Right. Well, I was gonna say because I thought that they did a couple of different time skips too.
No, I
No,
don't think so.
I don't think so.
Adam, Michael, this world's Michael's always been an Adam since season 5.
Oh, I meant like between. Because I thought that there was a like bit of a time skip between season 5 and 6.
No, Sam came right pretty much, well, maybe a little, like a couple months.
Oh, you're right. There might have been a...
But he
a
came
few
out of
months.
hell pretty quickly. He was spit
But
back
TV
out of
shows
hell.
have that average
Yeah.
out, so it's every
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, it's pretty much every year.
That's for Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones is fast and loose with timing, but that's a different podcast, which we already do.
My prediction is Adam is back in season 300 for a couple of reasons. Or episode 300.
Season 300.
Wow.
Because
All right,
reunion.
we're all gonna live.
Yeah,
It's-
Because they teased
It's
Adam
gonna
the
go.
last time.
They're
in
gonna do it
episode
even from the
200.
grave.
But since they teased Adam in, or they at least mentioned him in the 200th episode, and we're bringing the family together.
Well, actually,
like-
Jack also, when Apocalypse World, Michael, when he was in the woman who was in the high rise, and he was trying to get Jack to join him on his quest to take over the world, Jack says, "My uncle's in the cage."
Yeah.
So they referenced him again.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're getting us ready for it, I think.
So
Because people
But I-
have wanted it.
I think
Yeah, I don't know if
our
he's
Michael will probably go in the cage eventually.
maybe.
Eventually, or to the empty, or...
Or maybe the empty
Yeah.
and Michael will go in the cage.
I don't know about that, but I do know that. Oh, I don't think they're going to have room for Adam in the 300th episode.
Aww.
Because I've seen a little bit of teasers for the 300th episode, and I've been posting a lot in frantic succession because Entertainment Weekly just did like this whole fold-out special for Supernatural because it's very unusual that a fantasy horror show has lasted as long as this one has. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan is such a fan favorite, not only between this show, but also between The Walking Dead, and for people who liked his ghost on Grey's Anatomy, and which was a whole other thing, which is part of a different podcast that we don't do, but we might, so I won't say anything more. But what I will say is I think that's going to be so jam-packed with Jeffrey Dean Morgan reuniting with not only Dean and Sam,
His wife.
but his wife. We're going to get Marion and John a lot, I think, in that episode. But I also know what the conceit is, so I'm trying not to spoil it.
Was he a ghost like Grey's Anatomy?
No, he's not a ghost.
It will be interesting.
So wait, he's in heaven, right?
He's in heaven. As of
empty
season
heaven?
2.
But the doors are open that he can
The
walk out of?
souls are still in heaven. The angels are the ones that are depleted. But the human souls are still
But the
in
doors
heaven.
are open. He could walk right out.
But they don't realize.
He's done it before. He did it in season 3, was it?
No, he's only been in seasons 1 and 2.
No.
Oh, end of season 2 then, when he's in the
End of
graveyard.
season 2.
With Colt.
But the longer
Yeah,
you're there, right, you don't really realize you're in heaven. It's like the Nexus.
Yeah, but it's like the power's running out. Eventually, the Wi-Fi's going to go off, and you're going to start wandering around and be like, what the hell is this? Why is this door now? Where's this door go?
So-
You
makes
are
sense
full
it-
of similes today.
So it makes sense
gift.
why he hasn't left yet and why he might leave soon.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with Apocalypse World Bobby and
Mary?
with
Yeah.
that monkey
Yeah, what the
wrench,
heck?
which I think is weird. And
Why?
It is weird.
It's a little weird.
Especially if John comes back.
Yeah.
that's
It's
yeah,
going to
that's
be
what I was
real
getting at.
interesting how that's going to all play out.
It's already weird.
It is weird.
But
Yeah.
remember, he's Apocalypse World Bobby. He's had a kid who manifested with the shapeshifter this
Oh,
season.
Mary hasn't aged.
Right.
So,
That's not her
Mary's
fault.
her
She was
son's
dead
aging.
a long
Ugh.
time.
She was preserved.
Look, May December
Also, Mary
romances.
can do better. That's all I'm saying.
Aw, she's very busy.
Especially better than Apocalypse World, Bobby. I don't like him as much.
No, I agree.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
Look, sometimes
Yeah.
things happen out of proximity and convenience.
yeah, okay.
They're all hunters.
Castiel. I don't know. Somebody else.
Yes, yeah.
Honestly, though, Castiel feels like kind of like a side bit character nowadays.
A little bit.
He does a little bit. He's
There's
kind
a
of...
lot of characters to... We have to check in with the
He's
other
already been
Apocalypse World
developed.
people.
And they could do more development on other characters, so I get that, but...
But Castiel had
Yeah.
a very big character moment at the end of the half season because when the Empty came to claim Jack,
That's
True.
right.
he made a deal with
Yeah.
the Empty,
Yeah.
which was, you can take me instead. And then the Empty said, well, because I hate you, because you woke me up, I'm going to do that when that hurts you the most. When you're the most happy, I'm going to come for you.
So what happens when you wake
Yeah,
up somebody,
but
they're grumpy.
Castiel's never happy. So
That's
like,
what Castiel
never
told
gonna
Jack.
happen.
And he's a great martyr, so...
I guess
Yep.
that didn't land as a huge deal to me, and maybe I didn't
Yeah.
understand it. But he's an angel that's going to live. Was the Empty saying that he's going to kill Castiel?
He's
No,
whenever he
he's
wants?
just going to
Yeah.
take him.
He's
He
gonna
doesn't
take
need to
him.
die.
Any
He's going
time
to
he
let him
just-
be
Yeah.
happy and be content in whatever his life leads him to.
And then,
And
rip
then
him
the
away.
Empty's going to come and take him
So-
away.
Yeah.
But
Finale.
then, like, okay, but then isn't that, like, kind of nice? Like, I mean, it does suck, but, like, then he gets to die happy, though?
Well,
But
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
But the
it
Empty
almost-
sounds
Yeah.
worse than hell.
it almost implies that it's happiness that he would be real sad to be separated from. So I
Yeah.
think he wants to turn this. I don't think the Empty has good intentions at heart. And I think the Empty, I
No.
agree with Jeremy's assessment that the Empty is kind of like a real grumpy person who's woken up after a long nap and just wants everything to go back right again so he can fall asleep again.
Yeah.
But I do think maybe you're right, Nick. It's not that big of a deal because they're using it as a conceit so that they can keep Misha around, and then
Yeah.
if for some reason
Right.
they need to take him away, he goes back to the Empty.
I think he'll be the
Right.
the sad song at the end of the season. Like it'll be the season will wrap up and it'll be okay, and then Misha Castiel will be taken away by the Empty.
Yeah. I could see that.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
this apocalypse lasts more than a season.
Yeah, I hope
Have
so
they
too.
ever?
That's
Be
why
real.
I'm hoping it does.
Not since the first 5.
That's why it would break tradition, Jeremy. Like a lot of things this season are breaking tradition. Now, granted, Michael left Dean for a while when, let's talk about Dark Kaya.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love
her and hate her at the same time.
Why do you love and hate
I'm
her?
glad
I
the
love her
actress
'cause she has
is.
some
I'm glad
badass
that the
moves.
actress is back.
Like when she chopped off the heads of those monsters in the cabin. Oh my god!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, I was like,
Yep.
I love you. But she's still a bitch.
Yeah, but to me, why did she mean to kill Claire instead of the other Kaya?
I'm not touching that one.
I don't know for sure. I don't know
I
for
wanna
sure.
know.
I don't think. Yeah.
I don't think they fleshed out her character
Yeah.
enough to be able to say. one
No,
or
they
the other.
didn't.
The only
Yeah.
thing that was
I didn't know if anyone had any guesses because I don't.
There's only 2 clues that were not fully explained in the previous season, although they were hinted at strongly. One, Dark Kaya says that her and regular Kaya, or Kaya Prime, have been sharing Dreamwalker visions the whole time. 2, Sheriff Jody actually says that Claire's super depressed, which is why she didn't come along for this journey, because first love is hard, and she lost her first love.
Yep.
Which was heavily implied but not necessarily explained at the time. So I'm not exactly sure, and I hope they're not connected, but those are the things that we know so far.
Well, I feel like it was pretty much. I don't know that it was. I feel like it had just started to come out, and then they killed her, which is how things tend to go in the lesbian character universe.
You remember that differently than me then, because...
I'll have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, I think there was... I mean, I'm not going to tell you there wasn't some kind of romantical tension, but there was definitely not an acknowledged
Relationship.
place like that.
Okay.
Right.
And I wonder if we're missing stuff because this would have been explored in the spin-off.
Wayward Sisters.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I bet.
And there just isn't time in the Supernatural show to pull in that exposition.
Good call.
I never thought,
Right.
That's true. I bet that's exactly it.
No, I'm sure that that's true. I think it's weird that they would keep that line in the script if they're not gonna flesh it out later.
And I don't know if they are, because people like Jodie, so we'll probably get more of her again in Supernatural.
I think Dark Kaya is coming back because she gave Dean the spear she brought over from the bad place to try to get Michael, but when Michael repossessed Dean, he snapped the spear, and part of Dark Kaya's deal with Dean was, please help me get home.
So, I have a grin on my face because we're going back to the spear of Longinus, spear of destiny. Come on now.
It's true.
You can't say, come on now.
It's
A, there are podcast listeners, and B, I don't know what you're talking about.
okay, why did the spear hurt Michael?
Because it's, I don't know. So you're saying it's the parallel dimension version of the spear that
I
we've
bet
already
it is.
seen?
Exactly.
Why did you just say that?
I never thought of that, but I believe that could very well be. I never thought of it that way.
However,
Very
it's
well,
also
though.
broken. Michael broke it.
But like, is
It can
the
be
blade
fixed.
broken?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
It didn't look like the blade was broken,
No,
but
it was
maybe it needs to be intact.
Now watch them reforge it
To
into
work.
like an Archangel blade or something.
They could.
That's
That would
where
be
you're
awesome.
They might.
going. This is where he's going. Okay, it finally lands for me, Jeremy.
The build-up has to be there.
Oh my god.
Wow, okay, well, that's your prediction.
I'm super invested in this.
Clearly, which means you don't completely
Yeah.
hate the show.
I don't. Even though I wish I did, I don't.
It all comes out. All right, well, that's interesting. We'll see. We'll have to see if they explore that more.
They would have to. Like, I'm sorry, spears, like, notoriously in history of the Bible, are tied to Spear of Destiny, Spear of Longinus, Spear that killed Jesus. Like, it's got to be something they're throwing around their heads.
Spear that killed Jesus.
Well,
Was the Spear of
What?
Destiny?
Oh,
Yeah,
Pierce when he was on the cross.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Even Hitler wanted that thing.
I was raised Catholic.
He also wanted the
And
Ark
then
of the Covenant.
then the Nazis got punched.
All backs. What are we talking about?
I don't know, but I feel like we're done with...
Spear, weapons, I don't know.
Nick,
I don't
we're
either.
not done.
Oh, I was going to go back to Lucifer just for a second.
Please do.
Did anyone else think... I know we found out that this isn't the case, but as we were following Nick, did anyone else think that oh, he killed his family, and he's not remembering it yet.
No.
A little bit.
No, yeah.
No, I know.
No.
The first, when he's still exploring, before we know, that's where I thought it
No.
was going to go.
I didn't
That's
know
where you.
Oh.
No.
No, I don't think so, because I think Lucifer preyed upon him being vulnerable, and I don't think that same vulnerability would have been there if he was the murderer.
But that would have been a good plot
I was
point.
thinking
Like,
that
if
he
he
was
was,
taking
like, his
advantage
soul
of
was
him, but-
dirty from killing his family, kind of thing, so he could be possessed by Lucifer. That would be kind of cool, but
But now I see. I mean, they told us where they're going, and that makes sense.
nobody wants to think about, like, if you're a good person that you can be possessed by the devil.
Well, and that's the lore, at least in the show, is that he always takes on a soul that is actually good, but can be easily tempted. Which is why Sam is his perfect vessel, because he's one of Azazel's children, and therefore easily tempted. He's got this seed, and that's been one of Sam's character arcs throughout all the seasons, is I'm really not wired to be evil despite all of my circumstances.
I think that can be true of all demons, though, that they possess people that are inherently could be good or bad. Or...
But Lucifer's different, because he's an archangel. Demons are not angels.
Right.
So that's why I'm drawing the distinction.
Gotcha.
We didn't talk about Sam running the Men of Letters, basically, with the Apocalypse Hunters, sending people off.
I thought that was kind of like a side note thing that didn't really make much sense to me. Like, yeah, they might have a little mini army to draw upon later, but it wasn't a major plot point to me.
It's not, but I feel like we've lost a lot of hunters throughout the 14 seasons, so now when they say there's other hunters out there, or at least as time goes on, we can see where they came from.
More people we can want to die.
Yeah, well, I feel like it was weird. Didn't he send that one girl by herself? Was she by herself?
To the house with
Maggie,
the-
yeah.
That was
With
dumb.
the gin. Which
She
I
wanted to
knew
go.
it was a gin.
I know, but then
She was
just
gung-ho.
send someone with her.
True.
Yeah, with the gin, as Kelsey was saying.
I think after that, that's when they did like the buddy system, because they didn't know that there was like these
Should have
super.
known the buddy
At least
system.
like that he
You
was
know it in, like,
supercharging like other
kindergarten.
monsters.
He's been using the buddy system for 14 years.
Look, there's not a lot of hunters, and all these hunters are from Apocalypse World, and the only reason they came through is to fight Michael.
Well, now when you think they're all from Apocalypse World, they should be better at their job.
Right?
Like,
For
Yep.
angels, not necessarily.
Relating
Oh,
to
yeah, that's true.
the Sam like training other hunters or whatever, I'm really bummed he shaved his beard.
I really like that episode,
So
actually.
is Dean.
I know.
I like the episode. Like,
That he shaved it, or that he had the beard?
the whole story, the story arc
the
of the
story
beard.
of the beard.
It was an arc.
The beard
It
of
was like-
destiny.
It was like 2 or 3 episodes. Like, Dean was giving him crap the whole time about his beard, and then he shaved it, and then he was like, "Aww."
I think Anna was around longer for that than the beard was.
So there. I have nothing to add to the beard thing.
Do we know why there was a beard? Like, was
just
he in something else?
he implied that he grew the beard because he's been so busy running this ad hoc Men of Letters that he hasn't had time for anything, including sleeping well and eating well, which is what concerns Dean. When
Well, then
Michael
why
finally
was it
goes.
such a nicely trimmed beard?
Because it's Hollywood.
Or he couldn't grow it in general, so just kind of stubbly to begin with.
Look, he's
Right.
15, almost 15 years older than when we first met him. He
Oh,
could grow
no,
beards now.
no, he's not. No, he's not. He's 25. Going with that.
No. Sorry, man. Show's been out a while. He has the facial hair now.
Okay.
Maybe some chest hair too, but we've not seen any proof.
True, we have I would know.
Oh god.
So would I if they went shirtless.
Let's
that's-
write the directors.
This
and the
podcast
producers.
is just taking a whole different direction.
We're covering our bases, Jen.
So Charlie came back.
I was just about, thank you, Kelsey. I was just about to say, well, I'm really happy to see Charlie's back a little bit more.
She is, but she's,
Yeah.
Although she's different, but she's still.
she's Apocalypse World Charlie.
Felicia Day. I have a
the,
crush for
the
her,
character would be correcting herself for saying Charlie's back.
It's not Charlie.
It's not Charlie, yeah.
And she's
Nope.
real not into the hunting
But it's
business.
still Felicia Day. And I
have
have
to
a
say,
girl crush on her.
I do like this character too. I like seeing Felicia Day back, but I didn't like the main episode and how it was
Yeah.
divided.
The
The
bug guy?
storylines, yeah, the
Yeah.
storylines are so divided, and
Because
most
it
of
was Sam and her, and then it
Yeah.
was...
was it Dean and Or was Dean and Michael?
It was Dean and Jack
Jack
and the
Dean
necromancer.
Yeah, that's right. The necromancer, the library girl who had her zombie boyfriend.
I will say the episode was very well done. If you kind of look back into it, of what they're trying to do, you've got the bug guy who's the outcast with Charlie, and then you've got the main prom king, prom queen kind of girls going on in the storyline. It's a good parallel, I thought. That was my favorite episode.
Really?
It wasn't my favorite, but it was a good episode.
The Charlie character,
well, I mean,
we didn't get much of her. I was hoping for more of her in the season when she came back, and then really she just sat in the car and talked a lot about how she didn't want to be doing what she was doing.
Well, they were on a stakeout.
I know. But not the most entertaining thing to watch.
No.
Maybe she'll be back more this next
Also, while we're talking about that episode, can we talk about the half-fly creature? Because,
yeah.
First of all, I
Muska or something?
First of all, I was having, Jeff Goldblum flashbacks.
Oh, yeah. That took me.
I like that those they weren't monsters. It was one that had left that species. I don't know.
I don't even think they were actually. Yeah, because they had their own community. They came back at the end.
Yeah,
and took care of his body. They were. Yeah, they were even loving almost kind of.
It was that.
Yeah, that was cool.
One that went rogue.
Why does a half fly man have fly paper all over his lair?
I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice that. I have no answers.
Isn't that kind of rude?
Think of it as like a playpen for kids.
Oh gosh.
You don't stick kids to fly paper.
Now I'm going to want to go back and watch that episode because I didn't even catch that.
I did not notice that.
Yeah, there were flies well, there were flies all over and there was fly paper hanging everywhere because he had all the bodies, I guess. But I was like, isn't that just seems wrong because he's
It's like leashing your children.
Maybe the distinction is even though you envision Jeff Goldblum's fly, he's not really a fly. He's a different thing altogether, and he was offended by the flies, and maybe they just don't intermix. I don't know.
Maybe.
This was so Nick's common complaint on Supernatural is that they have run out of their well of monsters, but he was brand new.
Yeah, he was brand new.
Yeah, I liked that.
Is there anything?
They also had a lot of really good, small character actors this season.
Such as who?
Well, let me consult my list.
Duke agrees with you.
I really liked in episode 4 in the comic shop, the guy that...
Oh, I forgot
about
that.
He was such a tool.
Yeah. We have to talk about
not the
that
tool
episode.
guy.
That was one of my favorite
I did like that.
That was a good one.
We have to talk about that episode because it was the rare funny one.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping that the whole...
Dean was geeking out with. Aaron Paul Stewart was the actor. I really liked him. And the girl who played Samantha, Genevieve Buchner. I don't know. She was in the 100.
Oh, I didn't even make that connection.
She played Fox. And the next episode, Maggie, Saoirse Rowling, the chick that played Harper, the crazy librarian chick, Maddie Phillips. I liked her a lot. I just felt the writing was good and they chose good actors to the point where I was on IMDb the whole episode being like, who's that person? What were they in?
I think the actress that played Harper was in an episode before as a different character. I thought I read that somewhere.
Yes, she was. She was in an earlier season.
Okay.
I did see that. I don't remember. I don't think I wrote down what it was.
Yeah.
We also got DJ Qualls back.
Yeah, Hunter Garth. He's out of retirement.
Yeah.
And now he's a supercharged werewolf dude, thanks to Michael.
Yeah.
Anubis, the guy who played Anubis. Sean
Anson.
He was also really good, and I really like that this show mixes deities like that and religions, and it's not all.
Yeah, but he does nothing when it comes down to it.
So now there's two things we have to talk about. So Anubis, we have to talk about this because Lily, the woman who
I did like they brought her back.
Yeah, but they brought her back as Veronica Cartwright because she's older
Veronica
now.
Cartwright.
And Veronica Cartwright is a character actress extraordinaire who's been in many things.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, she was great.
Yeah, Alien, X-Files.
Yeah. So they call upon her when Jack is dying with the hope that she'll be able to help because of all of her knowledge of angels and the angel tablets and the Nephilim and everything else. And she agrees only to help if they can convince whomever's in charge of heaven to let her into heaven, even though she's...
People.
Yeah, all 7 people. Even though she's been killing angels almost her whole life. And then they find out that the keeper of the decision of who gets into heaven and who goes to hell is the Egyptian god Anubis, who's currently on contract in Chuck's absence.
He's outsourced.
Yes, he's outsourced. And he runs it like an accountancy, but he uses an abacus to tally sins versus, good deeds, I guess. So that's what Kelsey's referencing there. And then, of course, to go back to the comic shop episode, where basically it's an entire Dean fanboying over a long-running horror series.
Yeah.
So we have some meta, Inception.
Time to hack and slash.
Yeah.
But the brilliance of that episode was their initial walk into the comic book shop. And he's nerding out and getting compared to one of the employees. And Dean compares Sam to the girl that's, kind of bookish and awkward.
Whose name is Samantha.
Whose name is Samantha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I never caught that till just now. I am.
That was probably my favorite standalone episode that didn't have the angel stuff in it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was good.
I was hoping for possessed toys the whole time, but I still enjoyed the horror movie and the comedy of it.
There's possessed toys on Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
They can't all have Chucky, Nick.
No, but it started with one, so I thought it was going to be that toy the whole time.
Oh, I see. Well, but they had other things.
Yes, they did, and
they had a life-size
I enjoyed
figure.
that too.
Okay, it was just a really big toy. Okay. Yes, there was a string of really good guest stars. I feel like there's been a lot of attention on the show lately, and I think that's upped their quotient a little bit. So maybe the network is giving them a little bit more money to play with right now. I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know.
This going on this long, they usually start throwing money at it to keep it going and keep people staying working there.
Or they slash the budget, one or the other.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is a workhorse for the CW.
Even with it too, like Supernatural never really had like a consistent day that it was like airing because it kept like bouncing to like different days, and eventually went to like the Friday slot, and then it got pushed back to like normal weekdays. So even with it too, how much has been like bouncing around? Like it's really impressive that it's still like going strong.
But moving days can't have the same effect it used to. I have no idea what day Supernatural airs.
I don't know
and
what day
watch
the week
every
it is
episode.
now.
Yeah. I watch it on the CW app within 5 weeks of
Right.
airing.
Well, usually,
Very specific.
at least like you.
Because you lose an episode after that.
Yeah. Well, usually, like, before there was really, like, streaming, if a show got bumped back to Friday night, that was, like, a sign that it was going to end soon. And this was, like, after, like, the popularity for, like, the TGIF, like, slot, like, died down pretty significantly. So when Supernatural initially moved to Friday, everyone, I think it was, like, season 6 or 7, people thought that was going to be the end of it. And obviously, like, it wasn't. Like, their viewership obviously, like, went up. And, like, I think streaming became more popular at that time. They're like, oh, well, we could probably air this on a different day and still keep up, like, the fandom and keep people still watching, even though it's not, like, we're not getting the numbers right away, like, when it airs.
Well, the other significant difference, though, is that the CW is not like the other networks. Mm-hmm. They air genre-specific shows. They bounce a lot of their stuff around. It isn't just Supernatural. Mm-hmm. Even the other workhorse for the CW is the Arrowverse. Those shows changing nights except for The Flash. That's the only one that stayed consistent.
Flash is the only one staying still.
Irony.
Oh my God.
Hashtag irony. So I get what you're saying in a lot of ways there, but I don't think the Friday night death slot really ever applied to the CW because the stuff that they air on Friday, their demographic is the younger demographic. So people who make appointments will either watch it live or will watch it streaming, like you've mentioned. And streaming really didn't become a big thing until probably closer to the 2010 mark. At least as far as getting TV back on a website that had just aired. So
I just wanted to talk about how cute young Kelly was in heaven. Because she was adorable.
Oh, the little girl that played.
The little
she was
girl
playing
version?
with her dog.
Jack finds his mom
as the little girl.
As the little girl. That's the way she
Before
saw
she turns
herself.
back into Courtney Ford.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Got it.
All right.
Made me cry.
I was gonna say I did like that. Like I'm gonna call it a flashback. I don't think I would call it a flashback, but like that little like scene.
Was there anything you didn't like about this half season?
The end. How does
Explain.
Garth think it's safe to call Sam and Dean anywhere within the vicinity of Michael?
Right?
Yeah, Garth is a terrible spy.
The worst.
Well, they also by then had weapons. They had the egg thing, and they had the spear, which went away.
They snail mailed the egg. Why would
Catch
you do
did,
that?
because it's Catch. Catch is dumb.
Yeah, but still Garth is like,
Apparently.
hey, hold on, Michael, you stay in that room over there while I go call my friend on the phone. We're not talking about you. Come on now.
Not to mention,
I know. That made me so angry. It was so dumb.
Not to mention the fact that Michael shares he left a crack open in Dean's mind, so theoretically he was linked to Dean the whole time.
So that didn't
Yeah,
matter.
probably.
Yeah.
Which makes that whole thing even dumber.
Is that why you didn't like the end, or was there more?
I didn't like that, and I felt like Michael going back into Dean was super predictable. I just felt like the end was pretty predictable.
But I was happy. Because I actually was more annoyed that he left Dean so quickly, because I thought it was going to be just like you, Kelsey, predicted would happen, where they're like, oh, they're just going to have Michael in there for 2 episodes and then they'll get rid of him. And I'm like, oh, that's exactly what they did. Kelsey's just going to say, I told you so.
I wish that was true.
But then they put Michael back in, and they actually had a plausible reason for doing it, like it was an organic genesis of the story, and so I'm along for it. I think Dean as Michael, or Jensen playing Dean as Michael, is truly riveting, and I'm actually kind of excited to see what happens in this next half season. Since he snapped his fingers, calling upon apparently the start of Apocalypse 3. Is this the third one? On Supernatural. We're not counting, others.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
How many apocalypse?
Yeah.
Funny, it's been.
I think it's
You
been
lose
3.
track
Great.
of your second or
No,
third
yeah.
one. It's
Season
like,
5 was the first one.
Right.
Season 11 was the second one, because God in the Darkness.
Right.
And now
That's
this
true.
new
Well,
one.
Yeah.
4 if you count Apocalypse World.
I don't,
We don't
because
count
that's
that.
inherent in the name, and they wouldn't have got there if it weren't for Jack, so I don't count that one. This one is like entirely of Michael's making. And I do think there's room for them to bring back Adam and other little things they've been not using but have reminded us are still in existence in this world.
Like Dean's powers?
Yeah.
Sam's powers.
Sam's powers.
Yeah!
like, whoa, what were you talking about? Like, what did I miss?
Dean's powers are archangelic. Well, there's Lucifer that we know is probably coming back. And I'm sure he's going to fight with Michael. Because that's what they do. And yeah, I'd like to see Sam's powers come back.
I've been waiting for it, actually.
They hinted on it so heavily in that...
For 8 years.
Yeah.
Well, that and plus the season where they actually talked about it in that one episode.
Season
12 maybe.
yeah.
They literally brought everybody back, almost, except for freaking Joe and Ellen, which are the only characters
Oh,
that I
Ellen,
want
that's
them
the
to
one we
bring
couldn't
back.
remember. Maybe they'll come
I'm
back.
so mad.
Maybe they'll come back someday. Maybe they're
Maybe.
busy.
In
I feel
heaven?
like I've seen...
The empty heaven?
Maybe.
Empty.
What if heaven
Wait,
empties?
okay, I also have another question.
Okay.
Because Lily wants to go to heaven because her daughter is there and she wants to be with her daughter, but how does she know her daughter's there? Because the empty was all pissed that it didn't have Jack.
She doesn't know. She's not into the things. I don't know. I don't have an answer. Maybe they'll explain that.
Maybe.
Do you think, so now let's go through some of the questions, because we've talked all around, but I've actually listed questions this time. Do we think the Shadim is gone?
What's the Shadim?
That's the thing that Asmodeus was trying to release from hell.
Asmodeus. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they just...
The best character ever.
Nick just likes to say that every time we mention Asmodeus. You can track it back.
What a stupid character.
Colonel Sanders, yes, thank you.
Oh, but...
I love
I love Foghorn Leghorn, so...
Okay.
Sure.
I forgot about the Shadim, and
I think
What
everyone
is
else
the
did too.
I
As
forgot
well as the
about it.
writers.
It's almost
I don't
like
even
a
remember
many-headed monster, almost like a Hydra, but without that look.
We didn't see it.
I was going to say, we didn't see it, did we?
It was like about to burst through something.
I think there was shadows of it, though, in the light that we saw before they closed whatever they closed on top of
What?
it.
I must have missed this.
No, I think that arc was very...
Yeah.
I think that's done. I don't think
done.
it's going anywhere.
But that's a monster that they can utilize, since they
Potentially.
mentioned it.
Yeah, but I don't think it's going... I don't really think it's going to be...
God, I must have...
It'd be like them. It'd be like
I don't
Michael
remember
trying to put Angel Grace with the Leviathans.
Did
He
anybody?
might. Don't count that out.
Let's not even go back to Leviathan.
Oh, that
We don't
was
want to talk about
terrible.
that.
That was terrible.
No.
They get mentioned every time. So is everybody unanimous? We believe Lucifer is going to get out of the empty.
Yeah.
Any predictions
Yes.
as to how that might happen?
Oh.
How did Castiel get out of there?
The guy
Jack
sent
brought
up.
him back.
Oh,
Right.
Jack brought him back?
Jack brought him back.
And so this time it'll be...
No.
I thought that...
Jack actually-
I thought
no.
the empty was
He let
annoyed
him
by
go.
him.
Jack,
Yeah,
that's right.
No,
Jack woke
That's
woke him
right.
up.
Jack woke up Castiel,
Yeah.
but the MT was mad that Castiel was obviously up and woke him up, and so he kicked Castiel out essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Empty's got real moody.
Yeah.
So how do we think Lucifer will get out?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't want him to.
I think it's going to be
I
similar
think
to
Nick
that.
Pellegrino's character is going to bring him back somehow.
Yeah.
Like
that's
either
what I
by his
think.
actions or his prayer, like
His
he did
prayer,
in
yeah.
the church that woke him up in the first place.
Mhm.
I think maybe he's like
Yeah.
resonating with Lucifer
Yeah.
somehow.
Did anyone go back and check the season 5 episode where Gabriel allegedly died? We talked about that the last time.
No, I didn't.
Oh, you mean where fake Gabriel died?
Yeah, right. That's what we
Where
learned.
he took on the man
Like
like
he-
trickster? Wasn't
No. So he becomes fake Gabriel because we learned last season that Gabriel did a switcheroo to trick Lucifer. But what we were talking
Yeah.
about at the time was when he died in season 5, did we see his wings?
it? Oh, burned in the ground kind
Burned
of
into
thing?
the ground.
I don't recall.
I don't remember.
Okay.
Did we see Lucifer's wings
Mm.
being burned?
We saw
Yeah, we
Lucifer's
did
wings
see-
at the end of
yeah.
season
Okay.
13.
Yeah, it was very
We also saw
prominent.
Gabriel's wings at the end of season
That's
13.
right, okay.
That's why, and I'm checking the wings now because is there a possibility? How is Lucifer going to be brought out? That's going to be number one question. And then, however Lucifer is brought out, does that apply to others like Gabriel or Raphael, the other two archangels?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do we think heaven is going to collapse?
Yes.
I think
I
they
would
keep
say it
talking
is.
about heaven, and it keeps progressing or degressing. I don't know. It keeps getting worse up there. I think they're building to something that they're gonna have to explore.
I was gonna say maybe that's what the 300th episode is gonna be about. Like maybe that's why the family's reuniting. Maybe he like fell out of heaven or something.
Just fell right out.
Well, I don't know the exact all of the plot. That is not the mechanism that brings him back. I do know
Oh, it's
that
not.
much. Uh-uh.
Okay.
I wonder if there's going to be some kind of collaboration between heaven and the empty because heaven's not going to last. Like we've known for years it's not going to last. It's been degrading for what, 5 years, 10 years now? In
Ever
our
since
world.
they
Yeah.
started killing angels.
Right.
Yeah.
They're
So
the guardians of heaven.
what's the end game? Like how are they going to stabilize heaven or come up with an alternate solution?
Or is heaven going to collapse and all the souls in heaven come to earth?
I think they
I
had
don't think they're going to
two.
go to Earth. I think they're going to go somewhere else, like maybe the empty or apocalypse world or another world.
They can't go to the empty. That's for angels and
Yeah.
demons.
Maybe that.
I was gonna say, wasn't there like a purgatory?
maybe they'll pair with
There
the
is
empty
a purgatory.
though.
That was part of the Leviathan season.
We don't talk about
Oh,
that season.
right.
And that's how he met Vampire Benny. Remember
Maybe they have to
Vampire
just,
Benny?
maybe they have to
Yeah.
destroy the empty, and that's how we both save Castiel and get the angels back that have died.
Get their whole new real estate.
No, I think they could escape the empty.
Oh, I thought turn the empty into something else.
I mean, it
Who
could,
created the
whatever.
empty?
That's what I wondered.
And why is the empty a being?
right?
That's my question.
Well,
I thought
Empty
the
is a
empty
Mars
was like
production
the nothing.
child.
and if he's a being
Yeah, that's what I
walking
think too.
around,
Brother
what's
of
in
What?
the
God
empty
and
where Lucifer
Mara.
is like,
What?
I don't understand the mechanics of it.
What if the empty is really God's first oopsie accident?
Oh. Kelsey, what were
This
you
child
saying?
from their marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said maybe the empty is like the grumpy stepbrother of God and Amara.
Yeah.
Ah.
Who's making
be.
God and Amara? Didn't they
I
just
don't know.
pop out? Just, become? And then there
Well,
was
that is
God,
the
and
question.
then there was
Oh.
the darkness?
Didn't they talk about like the Leviathans being like some of God's like first creations?
Yes, the
know.
Leviathans were God's mistake. That's why they are in charge of purgatory.
Well, I think it's funny that God's mistakes in charge of purgatory, and then there's the empty, which is kind of like purgatory.
Yeah.
Purgatory light.
Purgatory for angels and demons. Purgatory is for others.
Yeah.
I was just going for wordplay there.
I see. Fair enough. Okay.
But I don't know. I guess I thought the empty was worse than purgatory.
Yeah, because there's nothing there. It's like
for angels and demons.
Yeah.
For angels and demons,
She's really stuck on that point. Like, she's read ahead too, so maybe we don't know something.
No, it's an important distinction to draw because we're comparing the empty to some of these other places, but the other places are for human souls. Heaven, hell, purgatory are all for human souls. They have drawn the distinction. They have, not me. That the empty is only for angels and demons. That's where all the heavenly or, fallen.
But what if maybe the empty is the purgatory equivalent for angels, and maybe we just haven't learned of a hell or heaven equivalent for angels. And this war that the angels are doing and the killing they're doing down there and that they're dying is why they're going into the empty, because they're not doing what God wanted them to do.
I think you're reading too much into it, but
I don't know.
I don't think they're going to go that far. They're not going to extrapolate that much, but
well, they have 14 more seasons to do.
I'd like them to explain why the empty is a talking thing, because like I said earlier, the empty.
They would have to. They explain tomorrow.
Did any of you guys ever watch Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yes.
Doesn't the empty kind of remind you of, what... I forgot the word they used for it.
I haven't seen it in a long time, but I did watch almost all of them.
Like when they use alchemy and then they get sucked in and they're talking to that being thing.
Like the Shadow Realm kind of thing?
Yeah, I
know what you're talking about. I don't know what they called it though.
I don't remember.
It was like an in-between place.
It's basically God, but that's who the empty reminds me of.
Have we seen Death this season?
No.
Really?
We haven't seen Death.
not yet this season.
And she prophesies in season 13 that the Winchesters mean something to the world.
Right.
Which I think is pretty obvious because, they always do. But
they have for the last 14 years.
Let's
be real.
Plus, I don't know. Or not. Do you think this is the last season?
I was just going to ask.
Doesn't feel like it anymore.
It doesn't
feel
like
it.
I don't think so.
I don't think it is.
At this point, we're already halfway through this season. I don't think they could realistically wrap everything up in another half season. Mm-hmm. So I think it's going to go at least one more, but I don't know. There's
But we thought that about 13.
Magic number 15, maybe.
Yeah, but now we have this Michael plot, and I really think they're going to stretch it a little bit.
Yeah.
I do not think they're wrapping Michael up this season.
Do you know where they are with their contracts?
Season 5 was the end-all, be-all. It was supposed to end after 5, so why not end in 15?
Jensen and Jared are season to season. They have gone on record with these 300th episode, and they have said that they're not planning to stop. That's the quote that Jensen said. We have a little more gas in the tank. Now I'm taking that literally. That there is a little, but there's more. You see? I think season...
Oh, jeez.
I know. I always thought season 15 was probably what they were going for, because it is kind of a magical number. And then 15 is... A lot of shows kind of hit 15, and then it's like, well, now it's just a matter of time. And the only ones that have surpassed are like The Simpsons or the Law & Order SVU...
Which... To be fair, Simpsons is just the same old stuff recycled over and over again anyway.
Right. As is Law & Order and SVU and the procedural stuff.
It's not a continuous show.
Right. So
Well, same with SNL, too.
Well, that's a sketch show. Yeah. That's not a fiction
show.
Yeah. That's been going for 44 years almost. So cool. We all agree that there might be a little bit more. What do people think is going on in the 300th episode?
I don't know.
Well, we haven't seen John yet. We all
He's
know
guaranteed for the 300th
John's
episode.
in heaven, so I think heaven's going to fail completely in some way to bring him back down to earth, to help out his boys.
Yeah.
Meet back up with his wife, have a little
Or is he going to be another apocalypse alternate?
Oh, please, God, no.
I feel like we hear what happened
please,
to
Chuck,
Mary
no.
and John, right?
Hear what happened to Mary?
Don't we know what happened to Mary and John in Apocalypse World? They never met.
You're right, they never met.
And they
Did
both
they both
died.
die? Yeah.
And they both died. Oh, okay.
The angels killed them before they could even...
That's what happens when you don't meet your soulmate. You die.
Well, that was dark.
Does the apocalyptic world... Does the apocalyptic... I can't say that word now.
Apocalypse?
Yes,
Apocalypse.
the world, that world. Do they have an empty?
I don't know.
Or does everyone from all of the...
Go into the same empty?
That is a slippery slope.
Well, Maybe it's
Well, then you're not even
So just-
factoring the bad place.
No,
Yeah, we haven't even touched the bad place, which still exists.
Oh, yeah.
What's
hell?
the bad place?
What
Wait,
is
what?
the bad place?
The bad place is where they went and found
Kaya.
Dark Kaya.
Yeah.
That's not
That's-
heaven or hell. That's
no,
another
that's
dimension.
a whole nother dimension.
What exactly was that anyway?
I don't know.
big-
What are dinosaurs?
A big Godzilla-like footprint.
The land
was
before time.
Maybe.
Under the lost kind of thing.
Well, maybe. What did Kaya's a human though, right? From that place.
Well, we assume she's a human.
that. We don't know.
Human-ish.
Yeah, we don't know about Dark Kaya. Kaya on our world was human with a Dreamwalker power. Extra special,
I was gonna
but still human.
I don't know. I get nervous when there's other worlds and shows because
It leaves it too wide open.
it's
There's
too
many things.
it's too easy to do whatever. Nothing's permanent, which nothing was permanent.
It's too easy to write like, oh, Jesus is
nothing's
riding
permanent
a
now.
T-Rex with laser beams shooting out of his eyeballs.
That is Legends of Tomorrow, number one.
So
Number
that's
two-
what Jeremy thinks season 15 is going to be.
God, I hope not.
So that just reminds me of, can I get, what is it, alligators with sharks? Is it sharks?
With freaking laser beams! Oh, we're the same age.
Thanks,
Silly.
This is good. Sam says, so at the very first episode that I guess people responded with mixed reactions to was this demon named Kip trying to declare that he would be the king of hell.
Wasn't that the first?
Very first episode of the season. And when Sam and the hunters with Jack handily defeated Kip and his band of demons, he said, there will be no princes of hell. There will be no kings of hell. Hell will have no ruler. Do we think that will stick?
I don't know. They haven't gone back to hell at all since that episode.
Yeah.
I have no
Yeah, I
idea
don't
what
know.
they're thinking.
Can we get Apocalypse World Crowley going on here or something?
Ooh.
Maybe Crowley comes back from the empty. He won't. I know he won't. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I liked him
next.
too much. But not for it.
His
Yeah.
father just died too, Mark Shepard's father.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I killed the room. Okay.
While we're on that same
Yeah.
topic, what
But-
about Sam killing Rowena?
Kip was super obnoxious. I'm glad they didn't keep
Is that
him.
still a thing? What about Sam killing Rowena? Is that still a thing? Have we bypassed that? Is that over with?
It's been prophesied. I imagine it will happen. Will it
Yeah.
happen
We'll
this
see.
season? I don't think so.
I don't think she's invested enough to happen this season.
No.
Will it end up
No.
being a mercy kill, like she's suffering and he's
Oh,
helping
could
her?
be.
Or
Mhm.
a sacrificial kill?
I
Like,
don't
for the good of
think-
the world!
Yeah, I don't think that's something they've forgotten. I think that's going to happen. I think they were so
Yeah.
deliberate about it, they'll come back
Yeah.
to it.
I don't. Any character we haven't seen a lot about right now, I don't think they've forgotten, and I don't think it means anything. It's just there's a lot of characters with all the apocalypse people
There are.
because we
Right.
really don't even see Castiel that much, and
Well, and
Yeah.
think about it. They're bringing back John Winchester. They could bring back anybody from 13 seasons back. Well, Azazel.
so many people I wouldn't even remember. That's true.
I would not mind seeing him come back.
Well, because if Azazel
Especially
came
after-
back, then Sam's powers would come back in one shape or another. They would.
Which I want to have.
Me too.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I do. I just want him to have his powers back.
Since Lily's spell used a part of Jack's soul to resurrect him, do we think Jack will be affected in any way?
You think you can get his
Wait,
powers
I
back?
thought Lily used her soul.
Her own soul.
Her
yeah.
own soul.
That spell, though, yes, that's true, but it also needed to use part of his soul.
No, originally it needed to because she wasn't going to use hers. But
I
then
thought
she
it used
decided
both.
to use hers instead.
All right.
Yeah,
I
I read
think-
it. I remember it being that it was going to be powered from her soul. That's why she was going to die.
Die, yeah.
I still think Jack is going to get affected by it somehow.
I think he will.
Because
be
even
too.
with it, like, if you get brought back to life, at least normally in Supernatural, I mean, obviously, like, Dean and Sam do it, like, X amount of times, like, it kind of changes the person, so.
I'm going to have to
Wasn't
fact
this
check
the
that, 'cause
same
I think
show
it
that
was part
said
of
a
them
million
both.
times in the beginning of the season? Like, in the beginning of the show, didn't they say a million times what's dead should stay dead?
Yeah.
A long time
Hmm.
ago, but
I
they've
just
long
wanted
to
since
bring
broken
that
that,
up.
rule. So we'll check that Jack Lily piece again. I will look that up. Are there any other characters you want to see in episode 300?
Azazel, but
Adam.
yeah.
Adam.
Joe and Ellen.
Raphael,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Raphael.
Raphael.
Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck.
Where's
And
Chuck?
Amara.
Charlie. She'll be there, but
Yeah.
whatever. I just want to see her.
Like, this world's Charlie.
I know.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
things.
nice.
I know some things. I don't know how it's going to manifest.
And a big musical number.
No.
Oh,
We
God.
already did that
That's always the third show of the season.
previously. No, it's not.
I was disgusted.
Okay.
It was their
There's always
200th
one.
episode.
So the CW only ordered 20 episodes this season.
Oh.
It's
23?
It's usually 23.
Mm-hmm.
And it's now the shortest season other than the one that occurred during the writer strike season of 2007 to 2008. What do you make of that?
It's a way to pay your actors. You can pay your main cast what you paid them, but they're working less instead of giving them a raise. So a little more time off. So I think that's part of it.
Okay.
Or if they continued on, it'd be an odd breaking time in the storyline. Like, it would, just to stop,
Like for
you know what I
writing
mean?
purposes,
For
it
writing
made more
purposes.
sense.
It'd make more sense
I
to
think
cut
it's-
the season short so that the next season would have that full...
Shorter is
Around.
always better.
But are they cutting short? Is there
It's
like
just
a break
tightens
in
it
the
up.
middle that's longer than
Right.
normal, or what?
The break is at the normal spot. The mid-season landed at the normal spot. But there will only be 11 more episodes this season, as opposed to 13 or 14 when there normally is.
I'm okay with that.
I do think we've been talking, especially somebody named Nick, has been talking a lot about how, and you too, Jeremy, about how, you know, this is one of the few shows that goes that full number of 20 plus episodes, and there are times when maybe it would benefit from not having quite as many episodes because they have to fill some of those episodes with things. And I actually think my personal feeling on this season is, while it is not appreciably different, I feel like it's still going at a better clip, pacing wise, than some of the past.
Yeah, there's only been one or two, I call them Scooby-Doo episodes, that are just filler
I
episodes.
don't know if you can call them that since there's been a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yeah.
There was actually
the
a
can't do
Bobcat
that.
Insect Man kind of thing. Just kind of one. You know, where they have that like
Monster of the Week.
fluff episode, and then they end it with, "Oh, we're drawing you back into the main story now."
Yeah.
That'd be like one.
This
Yeah.
show didn't do that well, in my opinion, for many seasons. Of,
Agreed.
this is the big bad. We're just not going to deal
By
with
the way,
it for
here's
a
some
while
werewolves.
because we wanted to time out with the end of the season. I think this season is already doing a better job of that without even, for this chunk,
Yeah.
not even taking into account.
Yes.
They'll have
Everything is
Drag it out.
relevant.
Is there anything else you want to say about the season so far, the road so far, that we haven't already covered? That's what I said, Nick.
Can I just say, when Dean let Jack drive the Impala, I was almost tearing up a little bit.
That was a lovely
Yeah,
It
that was a really good.
that was technically
was.
a standalone episode, except for the larger part about Jack dying. And so Jack actually wants to spend some time out in the world, but he doesn't have long for it. And he sees Dean as like a surrogate. They're all kind of a surrogate father, but I think he gravitates toward Dean a little bit, and Castiel more than Sam. And they do a bunch of stuff like have burgers, go driving, go fishing. And why did they go fishing? Because that's a memory that he saw, or that Dean talks about having with John.
Well, and look at where he's having burgers with Dean ends up being his part of heaven when he disappears from heaven at that one episode.
Yeah. That was a
cute.
really well done episode. He has really integrated into this cast quite seamlessly. Like, sometimes when these characters are just randomly introduced and when we have to fall in love with them, it's really hard. But Jack and this actor has done a remarkable job finding his footing very quickly.
It hasn't been as artificial as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
No. How long do we think he'll be powerless?
Oh, not long.
I don't think
Oh, I
very
hope
long
not.
at all.
Not long.
I think you're
Remember,
going to
Nephilim
see.
are more powerful than the archangels that sire them. That Sam made a point of saying that last
I wouldn't doubt that this next episode of the second half would be him getting.
He's going to find
coming
somebody
back,
get some
yeah.
sort of power. It
They
might
are
not
pretty
be.
Getting his
painted into
power
a
back,
corner
yeah.
that would help.
The first couple, maybe not the first, but certainly right up to the first part. You know.
Which, by the way, by the time this publishes, one episode of the new half season will have aired.
Oh,
It
it's
already
aired.
is.
It aired yesterday.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
almost-
This is coming out,
Oh,
and it's
Yeah.
already aired.
we're traveling through time, folks.
No, you just didn't understand my words.
I had to fight so hard not to watch it. I didn't watch it, so I don't
I'm very
know.
proud of you, because the last time, at this
Yeah.
time, you
And I
had.
kept,
And you're like,
kept
I
hearing
can't say
Kylie
that.
in my head.
I can't say
Jen,
that.
don't watch it because you're going to want to talk about it. So don't watch
Because
it.
she almost did.
I did. I think I did talk about it.
You did. Please listen to our season 13
I didn't
episode.
watch it, so I don't know.
Are you going to keep watching?
Yeah.
Why are you looking at me? Oh my god. Okay. Just the first episode I watched, it was very poor quality. I thought it was the production value. It turned out not to be, but it really put a sour taste in my mouth. But I'm still watching. Adam is even still watching.
Adam, your husband.
Yes,
Okay.
I will. We will continue watching until it ends, to the bitter end. Even though sometimes I just want it to end, and sometimes I don't want it to end.
This is a lot of complicated feelings. You're
It is. So imagine a show you really love for 14 years, and you find one episode that turns you off of it so much that you never want to watch it again.
I've never experienced that.
And I hope you never have to.
Well, and I'm going to be... I think there are some of us, and maybe Nick will chime in here, that are not automatically dissuaded by one episode. I have a completionist mentality. It has to really, stay bad before
You don't know how much I hated that
What did
episode.
you hate about it?
It was... Okay, so...
Which episode is
the first episode of this season.
I watched it.
Which is the Kip episode.
Screamed it, quote unquote, so terribly that it felt like a 80s soap opera that was visually, audio-wise, was terrible. And I thought that was going to be the way that the new season was going.
Maybe it was your streamer.
Okay, I didn't really stream it, Kylie. I put air quotes up.
Oh, maybe it was the quality of the thing you procured.
Correct. And that is what it ultimately turned out to be. But although I did not like the first episode that much, but with that,
I would argue that's the worst episode so far.
Yeah,
I would say it's terrible.
I barely remember.
I wouldn't go that far.
Add on poor quality video, poor quality audio,
yeah.
and you think that's the way the season's going to go, and I was so I was upset. I was hurt. I thought you betrayed me, Supernatural. So,
Jeremy, talk to me. I know how to get the good stuff.
what I'm trying to say is I felt betrayed in that it was never going to get better, and I was hurt for a moment, and now I continue watching because I realized it was just an instance of where I was not feeling the greatest about the show and where it was going. Now it's okay.
Okay, I'm going to believe you, but that was some complicated feelings.
I was angry at the time. I'm better now.
Okay. And everybody else was like, yes.
I looked at
We're keeping
pictures of Jensen and Jared shirtless, and I'm okay.
I mean, that's all you got to do.
That's all you gotta do.
Whenever,
Yeah.
and then for the others who like Charlie, there's her. Okay. So that's all you got to do watching Supernatural. Imagine them with their shirts off.
But
Don't we
there's
do
no
that anyway?
Charlie shirtless. I'm just throwing that out there.
What?
I said, but there's no Charlie shirtless.
I just... there's
Not in your head, there's not.
I know. They don't do it often with Dean and Sam either. You have to use your imagination.
Oh.
So if I ask you, do you recommend this show, are you going to give me the same canned answer, watch the first 5 seasons, or do you change it now?
I feel like
I'm looking at you because you always start that train.
you have to start from the beginning, and then it's there. Then it's up to them to keep watching or not. I do let them
Maybe
know
skip
that Leviathan is probably the worst.
I was gonna say maybe skip over season 7.
I was gonna say you could probably get away with not even watching that whole
And
season.
8 maybe.
So yeah, 8 was.
I liked
remember.
8. 8 was
That
the
was
Metatron and the Sam possession by the angel.
Oh, that was 8.
Yeah.
I was thinking that was 9.
9, it bridged into 9 because that's when they were closing
that's
all the
why.
gates of
Yeah.
whatever they were closing and the angels fell to earth. Nobody else has any answers about recommending Supernatural?
Kelsey's
No,
just
I
imagining
concur with that.
Watch everything but season 7. You can skip
Yep.
season
Yep.
7. Aw, the much maligned season 7. Well, I'm
For good
still...
reason.
Oh, I know.
It's terrible.
It's not the
Well, yeah.
best. It's not the
That's
best.
a nice way of putting it.
But they recovered.
They're still on the air, if that's what you mean, but I don't think they ever actually really recovered from season 7. It's the
Yeah.
butt of jokes for the whole show.
It is, but they've gotten other
Yeah.
seasons that people have enjoyed.
Well, look at it this way: it's still referred to as season 7 or the Leviathan. We're not really saying anything since then.
Or it's not referred to as
Yeah.
the end of Supernatural, so I guess that's a positive.
And even with it too, a lot of shows were affected by the writer's
just
strike that
instigating at this point.
ended pretty early just because they sucked. Like, for example, Heroes. That, I think, that show got killed off because of the writer's strike.
Oh,
but
we're
even
not
with it,
going anywhere
Supernatural's
with
still
that.
going strong.
I am way too much into that show.
Okay, someday
Yeah.
someday we will have a Heroes podcast. I disagree with your
Yeah.
assessment that the strike killed it.
I
think
do
it
too.
killed
It
itself.
killed itself.
But it could have been so much better!
It could have been really a really good show.
The strike didn't help.
Yeah.
But
I think the strike pushed it along to its own death then.
To be fair, Milo is so cute.
Yes, well, he's really the reason to watch. This is a Heroes podcast, but Brian Fuller, the creator of the show, left after the first season. Guess which season is the best? The first season.
First.
Yeah.
So anybody who tried to drive that car after his departure just wasn't up to the challenge. And that was a really complicated show.
Mm-hmm.
Slow motion train after season 1.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And Milo is now on This Is Us. So if you really want to see him, that's where he's gone. Anything else you want to say about Supernatural Season 14A?
Rowena, please come back soon.
All right, Ruth Connell, you have a fan. But since everybody else said nothing, what I'm going to do...
I mean...
Okay,
I was going to say, wait, Kylie, do you want to make one more plea to Jensen Ackles to listen?
Well, he's got to listen to hear the plea. I'll make one more plea that if he is listening, he should call me. So Jensen Ackles, please call me. And since no one said anything else, what I have to say goes like this. CPU is produced by Back Pocket Productions, run by yours truly, the Chief Couch Potato, and hails from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Please, if you like what you hear, would you take the time to rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, or Google Play? That means give us stars, comments, reviews, and let us know how we're doing, what you like, what you don't. Do you like Supernatural? How are you finding the 14th season? Better than season 7, I bet. If you have suggestions on shows you might consider, contact us at our website, couchpotatoesunite.wordpress.com, by email at couchpotatoesunitepodcast@gmail.com, or via our Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Though, of course, we add new and old shows to chat about around the water cooler all the time. We have several more new episodes coming down the pike. 2019 is going to be jam-packed with fun. And if you miss old episodes or want to know in general what we cover, we're everywhere. Find us, Google us, find our website, find our channels, find our social media. Do the thing. Talk to us. Until the next time, Supernatural is available to stream in its entirety on Netflix through the end of season 13. The 5 most recently aired episodes are available at the CW website and on the CW app. The season has resumed by the date of this publication. In fact, this episode will go out the day before episode 11, which will be airing the next night. So, in the meantime, our Supernatural panel will next reconvene following the 14th season finale, which will be sometime this summer. So until next time, until next episode, new episodes published every Wednesday. Keep listening, keep watching, stay tuned.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.